I'm banking on here, but I think I'm going to know my fate early doors here. If Little Monkey must clear the 3. No pot at all on Azura, just a real up-and-coming middle distance type for the Garland camp. 2, 6, 4 and 8, my numbers, Jace.
All right, here we go. Let's get Maturity Night underway here at the Meadows, and let's do so by joining our man upstairs, James Vandermart.
Fireball race 6 at 8:06, and then the big one, the Maturity Classic, 100,000 to the winner, Group 1 level at 6 minutes to 9 tonight. Good luck and happy punting. They're moving in now for the first on a huge night of racing here at the Meadows. The favourite here in the first, number 2, Little Monkey, into 270 as they're just about set. Jason, the lads from Sky on board. They're set to go now for the first on Maturity Night. Stand by. Often racing, Little Monkey a little bit scratchy to go near the inside. Dewanna Sizzle won the jump straight over the lead from Azuro, who moves up on the shoulder a length away. 3 lengths to Little Monkey. Just caught a bit flat-footed off that moderate start. 4 lengths away, Divine Feelings, then Kraken Ginger. Well back now to Jetty Jumper, and then Stidham Arizona and Aston Michelle at the end. It's still Dewanna Sizzle, the leader, led by a length Azuro, who's all out chasing, and they're clear to Little Monkey. Turning for home, Dewanna Sizzle still a length in front, holding on. Dewanna Sizzle all the way. That was smart. Dewanna Sizzle by 3/4 of a length to Azuro. Third, Little Monkey. Couple of rising stars in that one. Then Divine Feelings. A long break to Kraken Ginger. Then Stidham Arizona. And the last few to clock in, Aston Michelle was back with Jetty Jumper. Look at the time. 29.71.
Dewanna Sizzle wins the first at the Meadows on Maturity Night, Brendan Dewan. The map looked pretty good for you, and he did the rest.
Yeah, well, I wasn't that confident, but my son was very confident. He's had a bit.
He never lacks confidence.
No, he's had a go at him, and it must be his hard work that he puts in.
And it's been a big period of time for the team as well. Dewanna Star, who's obviously the shining light of the kennel. He's got a brief injury, I understand, at this point in time, but how far is he away?
Yes, we're getting him x-rayed on Thursday with Dewanna Lynette. They both seem to be okay, and we're just going to take it easy and have a bit of patience and probably get him ready for the big race that he's entered in Queensland in September.
Very good, mate, and awesome to see that you're going just as well as your dogs are too, mate. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Brendan Dewan there, boys. Good way to kick off proceedings at the Dewan camp. Unstoppable at this point in time.
And always an entertaining interview there. The great man, Brendan Dewan, it just made it look pretty easy there. We said that advantageous map, just wasn't sure if he could get that true forward position and clear the Little Monkey. But in the end, it was a pretty straightforward race, Nath. But all 3 of those really ran to their best. Dewanna Sizzle, Azuro and Little Monkey, they were the clear. You know, they broke away from the rest of the pack. And it was one of those races, they all ran well, but there was only one winner, and that was Dewanna Sizzle.
Yeah, I think the time indicates the quality of the race, Mick. 5:07, 17:70, 29.716, 12:02 home. So I thought down the back, once Dewanna Sizzle was able to find the front, running the 29.3 that it did at Sandown last week, I didn't think as good as Azuro was going to be able to pick it up. So got the start right. We seen him get the start right in a maiden at Warragul a couple of weeks ago and run 6:49, and he didn't begin that well here on debut. And then even at Sandown, when he posted that fast time, it was a complete run home, and he went 5:15 early, but he nailed the start tonight. He had that dog underneath him wanting to go left, and he just bet Azuro to the punch early in the first 50 metres, and it was just posted outside of him. And these dogs are up and firing, and they're hard to pick up. And he's another one that's got a massive motor and some massive bottom end strength. So the first 2 across the line were super, especially in that time. And Little Monkey, you know, had to hustle and bustle to get to a spot early, and it lost no admirers off a tricky map in third. So first 3 across the line are certainly 3 to follow.
Yeah. 29.75 to Azuro roughly, and Little Monkeys broke 30 as well. So as I said, they were all 3 sensational, Jace, but all honest to Dewanna Sizzle.
And bloody good as well, boys, isn't it, to see the likes of the Bushudo camp over the past 18 months with the Pulio bred and owned greyhounds doing some awesome things, but the Dewans who have bred and owned these greyhounds themselves, they have an amazing team at this point in time. I mean, every so often we'll see a camp like theirs come out with a shining light. In their case, the likes of Dewanna Result going back a number of years, but at this point in time, they've got an absolute handful of really good ones on the up.
And it's our dam line, like they've been going with that dam line for a long period of time. So it's hit a real purple patch at the moment. Bernardo's, you know, they've used the right side there, but I actually went through a lot of their success in the last 12 months, and the breeding out of the sires that they've used throughout their generations are just, you know, the top sires versus their really good dams that are proven, and they just keep buttering up. But yeah, they wouldn't have had a kennel as good as they've had as a whole, and litters as, you know, a whole of finding, you know, the whole lot that can run to the state that they can run in. But they're having fun, they're placing them well, they're very patient. We got to see that with Dewana Star when he won the Group 1, but yeah, no, they're in for a good, you'd be thinking 6 to 12 months or 18 months, and then, you know, this dam line doesn't look like stopping anytime soon either. So who knows what the future may hold for Maddie and Brendan Dewan.
I feel like it's even added a bit of a health resurgence for Brendan too, having all these good dogs, because he wasn't in the best of health there for a while. Now we see him charging down the straight with you, Patch, looking $1 million.
Yeah, and speaking like he's Einstein too, Brendan Dewan. And for Maddie, he is absolutely one-eyed Collingwood, Nathan. They're getting off the canvas and starting to restructure their season. So everything that's he's touching at the moment is turning to gold. There's probably some decent property down Cranbourne way that he's got his hands on too. Yeah,
and if you want to buy a house down that way, just give Matty a call. He'll no doubt have something on the market and ready to sell you. But no, his pies are flying at the moment, aren't they, JC? They looked in all sorts of trouble 6 or 7 weeks ago, and they've just formed a really good defence to attack transition of footy, and they're scoring now and they're attacking and they're daring. They've lost a few soldiers, but they just next man up, typical Fly McRae mentality, and they're getting the job done.
Yep, 100%. So big way to kick off maturity night with the win of Dewana Sizzle in ripping time as well for Zero, who's gone out on the ground compared to what she did last week. So awesome way to kick off proceedings. And tonight as well, if you haven't already seen it in the awareness building up to tonight's coverage, you can text in, ask these blokes any questions. You can have a dip at us, you can support us, you can do whatever you like. You can do so by texting in on this number, 0458 675 485, and I'll read that a number of times throughout tonight's coverage, or you can go to the latest article in the Watchdog app where it's in there and join in. I fully encourage you to do so, and nothing is off limits. All right, that's a wrap for race 1 here at the Meadows. We'll take a quick spell here on tonight's maturity coverage and be back about 10 minutes before race 2.